Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up in their names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about relationships and some key misconstrued notions that people have in regards to relationships. So, number one, everybody, doesn't matter who it is, individual to individual, typically will say that they have done all they can do. They poured everything, their heart and soul, into each relationship. So the question that I have is, why didn't it work out? Why didn't it succeed? If you poured your heart and soul into it, did they not also pour their heart and soul into it? Because when people leave angry, frustrated, upset with the partner that they once had, they typically believe that they themselves poured everything into the situation. So why are you not the only one upset? Why are they also upset? Why do they also feel like they were withheld love, care, attention, affection, gifts, time? Well, it's because everyone feels as though they did more than the last person. Most relationships end when one person stops trying because they felt as though they weren't getting what they're receiving. And then that other person doesn't meet them halfway. And so eventually there's a rift, there's a split. It all starts with a lack of communication, a lack of understanding, and then self-pride. Sometimes it takes you putting yourself in someone else's shoes in order to truly understand them, where they're coming from, and what's going on. For example, I used to work in the restaurant industry. It was hard for me to get on my phone and text people back every now and then. Now, or in other professions, it's a little bit easier to text back to people, let them know what you're doing, and give an update every now and then. You see, the difference is that when I don't receive that text back, I'm wondering, what's wrong with this person and why aren't they hitting me up? But in reality, I used to be that same individual who was working a job where my phone couldn't be out. And so, guess what? Everybody got a text back when it was appropriate. When you're no longer in that situation, sometimes you forget what you can and can't do. And so without saying it, I said, you know what? I've been in those situations before. I understand. Come to find out that that individual stated that they have a no cell phone policy because someone abused it just that day. So imagine if I had said, I'm cutting you off completely, not knowing the reason why they couldn't respond to me the entire day. Having that self-awareness, putting yourself in someone else's shoes, that allows you to bridge that gap just a little bit more. Now, let me get into something that is funny to me, but maybe a serious topic to you, and it is a serious topic. Let me start off by saying, if you are a lady making $50,000 or more a year, and your significant other typically makes or earns more than you do, because typically women are hypergamous, they're going to look for a guy who is creating more value. You as a woman should get married. Not only is it financial security, but it shows that the more that you pour into the relationship, it will not go unnoticed. As a man, if you are making $60,000 or more a year, yes, the number is slightly higher. If you are making $60,000 or more a year with someone who is not equally contributing to the relationship, or whatever percentage you would deem worthy, I would say no less than 40%, but whatever you deem worthy, you should not get married. Because if you are someone who is a finance bro like me, you understand that putting all your eggs in the relationship basket can lead to financial ruin. Ladies get married, men don't get married. This is from the heart. It will save many people heartache. Men typically don't leave relationships or file for divorce. Meanwhile, women are prone to do so. And that 7-year mark is the lucky number, is the magic number. And so, again, if you get to 10 years, now you're talking funding their Social Security. You're talking a whole bunch of other stuff that comes with it that we're not going to get into in this video. So if you were married and divorced and you didn't make it to a 10-year mark, lucky you. I know it may hurt. I know it may seem crazy. But again, because women typically date up in terms of financial value, it's typically the man that is footing the bills and responsibilities for that said woman. Let's move on. People love you initially the way they want to be loved. Most people will say, I'm doing the most. I do this, I do that. And yet, the guy didn't want any flowers. The guy didn't want any gifts. In fact, that's the bottom of the barrel for his type of love language. He values quality time and maybe even words of affirmation because he's a individual. And even though most gentlemen may say words of affirmation are not in their wheelhouse, for this individual, let's say it is. Love people the way that they want to be loved. Here's a quick example. I grew up in a household where my mother cooked. One may grow up in a household without cooking. They eat out every now and then. To me, love is making sure someone eats, is fed, and lives to see another day. To them, love is purchasing food and then sitting around a table for 5 minutes talking about stories. We didn't tell stories. But guess what? I'm more open to it because that is what you're accustomed to and that's what you want. Right? How do you bridge that gap? One person loved the storytelling around the table. One person loved the actual home-cooked meal. You bring those two together and now you have a relationship that is coexisting and not just one or the other. You see, a lot of the times people will do what they want. Oh, I'm communicating with you. Why don't you communicate with me? Oh, I'm giving you gifts. Why don't you give gifts back? And yet they're not receiving the love in the way that they would want to receive it. A lot of the time, people are not equally yoked and equally understanding in this. They don't understand that someone wants to be loved differently than the way you want to be loved. Love them the way they want to be loved and then tell them how you would like to be loved. Don't love them the way you would want to be loved and expect that they love you the same way without being informed. You see, communication is going to be the key in all of this because every individual is different. And so starting it off on the wrong foot by just showering someone with attention, shower someone with gifts, doesn't necessarily mean that they will appreciate you for who you are because that was never how they intended to be loved in the first place. Now, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.